Hello, Redlationship fam! How is your day? I'm Frank, and hop in because I've gathered a collection of the most fascinating Reddit stories just for this drive. Join the club by hitting that like button and subscribe to the channel. Let's drive in. Our story today comes from the Am I the Asshole subreddit. And the title is, Am I the Asshole for Not Wanting to Participate in My Niece's Wedding After She Excluded My Daughter? It starts. Mine and my sister's families are very close. Our kids are more like siblings than cousins. My eldest niece got engaged, and we were all thrilled for her. My daughter and I spent hours on the phone with her, helping her with early wedding planning. My niece even mentioned to my daughter that she was having a hard time finding enough bridesmaids because many of her friends are pregnant. Then we all started finding out who my niece had chosen to be in the wedding party. Everyone in the family was included except for my daughter. My niece asked me and her two sisters to be bridesmaids, asked my son to be a groomsman, included her parents, of course, and even asked my ex, who has been estranged from my side of the family since the divorce, to be the usher. She made a wedding website with photos and descriptions of all of the people in the wedding party. My daughter is the only one not on there. My niece didn't directly tell my daughter that she wasn't included. Instead, she created a text group with all of the women in our families except for my daughter to plan hair and makeup for the day of. My daughter was with me and my other nieces when we got the text and didn't have her phone on her, so she assumed she was included as well. Turns out she wasn't. When I reached out to my niece for clarification, she stated that my daughter was not going to be included. When I asked her if my daughter could at least get ready alongside us in the bridal suite, my niece said no. Her exact words were, "There won't be any room for her." My daughter is understandably crushed and has no idea why she would be the only one not included. When she and my niece finally spoke about it, my niece wouldn't explain why she had done this or apologize. Her only words were, "It was my decision to make. I'm sorry that you feel upset about it. I hope you can get over it." I never saw my niece as a mean person, but I am questioning my view of her now. I don't want to participate in a wedding where my daughter has been singled out and excluded for no real reason. I can't think of anything my daughter could have done to offend my niece. It seems that my niece can't come up with a single reason for excluding her either. When my niece asked me to be a bridesmaid, I didn't know that she was planning on asking everyone else in the family, except for my daughter. I wouldn't have accepted if I had known this. Am I the asshole if I tell my niece that I won't be able to fulfill my commitment as a bridesmaid and just attend as a guest? I've already posed this with my daughter, and she thinks that me and her brother should both still participate because she doesn't want to be blamed for our dropping out. If I do decide not to participate, I will be making it clear to my niece that it was 100% my decision to drop out because I feel personally disrespected that she would treat my daughter this way. I'm torn on how to handle this. The way I see it, if OP decides to step down as a bridesmaid for this wedding, that is completely reasonable. She is absolutely not the asshole. Think about it. Every single person in the family, even OP's ex-husband, gets an official role in the wedding, but she completely crossed OP's daughter off the list. The bride had to know that doing this would cause some major friction, but she went ahead and did it anyway. That's really unusual, especially since their relationship has always been pretty solid up until now. There has to be some hidden issue or drama going on behind the scenes here. Honestly, the daughter is the most level-headed and forgiving one in this whole mess. She chose to take a step back, telling her mom and brother to just go and keep the peace in the family. She just wants to avoid dragging herself into any more unnecessary trouble. I really have to give that girl a lot of credit. A commenter says, "Not the asshole at all. The fact that you are included makes this completely unfair. If your whole family were just regular guests, I would say just go, but don't try too hard to get an expensive gift. But leaving her out like this is a ridiculously strange choice. The fact that both you and your daughter actually talked to the bride shows that you are being very reasonable. I would feel very uncomfortable in your position, and I would bow out. A person also asks, is your niece jealous of your daughter? Niece's actions are way off on this. Another commenter says, Info, is your daughter what most people would consider prettier than the bride? Could it be jealous? Even if it is, not the asshole, by the way. And OP says, I will say my daughter is beautiful, and I've seen from experience a definite head-turner. The other says, I wonder if there was something that happened between them that your daughter doesn't feel comfy bringing up, and neither does the bride. I mean, when pressed, the daughter doesn't seem that bothered because maybe she was the one who caused problems. The theory of she is too pretty just doesn't sit well with me. I think there's something shady happened between them. And OP says, maybe I wasn't clear, but my daughter is very upset. She tries not to make a big deal out of it, but she has expressed many times to me that she is very hurt and doesn't understand why her cousin had excluded her. About 2 months later, we got an update. But this time it wasn't from the mother. It was from the main person in the original post, the daughter. And it says, Hey everyone, this is the daughter writing the update. My mom didn't know how to do an update post and asked me to write it for her. We're both here to respond to your comments if you have any. I saw that a few people asked what my aunt's opinion was after the verdict was given on this post. Here is the answer to that question. My aunt said that she had told my cousin from the very beginning that excluding me was going to hurt my feelings. She even suggested to her that I should be a bridesmaid instead of my mother. My cousin turned down this suggestion entirely, but she would not say why. I also saw some people wondering if something had gone down between my cousin and me that I wasn't telling my mom. This is definitely a valid question. The answer is no, she and I haven't had any problems prior to this, at least that I know of. She has always been like a sister to me. If she ever had a problem with me or anything I've done, I would really hope she would just tell me. Another question I saw was about my relationship with my father. He and I have a very tense relationship, due largely to some mental health struggles that he has. Prior to all of this, I had actually confided in my cousin a lot about this. This made her decision to include him over me incredibly hurtful in a very deep and personal way. After reading all of your comments and doing some more thinking, my mom ended up staying in the wedding party. I appreciate her desire to stand up for me, but I really did want my cousin's wedding to go smoothly, despite my feelings being very hurt. My mom respected my wishes on this. She is an amazing mom all around, and I am so lucky to have her by my side to support me. After the conversation I had with my cousin, which I described in the last post, I was really unsure and going back and forth about attending the wedding. I then heard from other relatives that she was actually concerned that I would sabotage the wedding if I were to attend. I found this comment to be completely bizarre and confusing. At this point, I decided that it would be best to remove myself from the situation entirely. I told her that I wouldn't be attending and just left it at that. It was a hard decision to make, but your reactions to the original post made me feel much more confident in my choice. The wedding did end up going smoothly. I heard from multiple sources that there was actually plenty of extra room in the bridal suite. I wish I could have been there with my family to support her on her big day. She and I have both been part of each other's major life milestones for as long as I can remember. I still haven't figured out why I was the only one excluded, but I have come to the conclusion that she and I must not be as close as I had always thought we were. At this point, I'm honestly not sure that I even want to be. Your feedback on the original post played a large part in me realizing that. Thanks to everyone for reading and for all of your responses. We got great insight from everyone who commented, especially those with different perspectives from our own. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to comment. So it turns out, nothing actually happened between the bride and OP. No bad blood in the past, nothing. The real reason behind this snub is still a total mystery. Honestly, it's highly likely it just comes down to jealousy over her looks, like a few comments on the original post pointed out. But knowing exactly how strained OP's relationship with her dad is, and still choosing him over her? That is just rubbing salt in the wound. The way I see it, OP deciding to back out of this wedding is completely justified. And honestly, she really needs to take a hard look and reevaluate her relationship with this cousin. A commenter says, "I guarantee you that her husband thinks you're attractive. That is the only thing that makes sense if everything you are saying is true. So, I am genuinely curious. How is your relationship with him? Like, is he close to your age? Do you two have a history together? Does he act weird around you? Honestly, that is the only reason I can think of that would make a woman act like that out of the blue." And OP says, "He and I have a good relationship. Not super close, but we're always friendly and laugh and joke around when we see each other. He's a really nice guy. We have no past, and I've been with my boyfriend longer than my cousin's husband has been around." Another commenter says, "Will you invite your cousin when you get married? The answer better be a resounding hell no." And OP says, "Not sure if there will be room for her. Can't be sure whether or not she'll sabotage it. Sorry if she feels upset about it. It'll be my decision to make. Hope she can get over it." Sorry guys, but this comment from OP actually cracked me up. The other says, "Okay, I know this isn't an actual judgment post, but damn it, we all want to know. So, how much hotter are you than your cousin?" And OP replies, "This is a loaded question. All I'll say is this. I have never felt the need to compare myself to her. Yes, I am conventionally attractive. I had always thought that she was pretty, but now her personality makes her ugly to me." OP came in with a very small update after a year, and it says, "Got engaged! Hi everyone, this is the daughter. For those of you who were interested enough after our Am I the Asshole posts to follow along, a few people who commented on our update post wanted to be updated when I was planning my own wedding. Now I am! I'm so incredibly excited to get to marry my fiancé. If you guys have any more suggestions or insight for me, please let me know." It's definitely a weird time to be thinking about planning a wedding, but he and I are both really excited for the rest of our lives together. A commenter says, "Now the million-dollar question. Does the cousin get invited? Hopefully she is definitely only a guest if she invited at all. Have you mended the relationship at all?" And OP says, "We have not mended the relationship at all. I've made it clear that I am willing to move on if she apologizes, but unfortunately she hasn't done that. At this point, I do not plan to invite her." Another commenter says, "First of all, congratulations on your engagement. I wish you and your partner all the happiness in the world. I couldn't find this in the updates or the comments, so maybe I just missed it. But did you ever find out why you were excluded so harshly? Or why they honestly thought you would sabotage the wedding if you showed up?" And OP says, "Thank you so much for the congratulations. We are both really excited." And to answer your question, no. I never found out why she excluded me or said those terrible things. To be completely honest, I am not even sure she is consciously aware of why she did it herself. If there had been a real, logical reason, I am sure it would have come out by now. At this point, I honestly just feel kind of sad for her. All right, that's the end of our story today. I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What would you do in that situation? If you were OP, did you do the same? Please drop your thoughts down in the comment. And I just want to say thank you guys so much for being here with Frank today. I really appreciate that. And if you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. See y'all. I'll catch you in the next video.